you can get motivated, and of course, you will always get educated, either by myself or with my awesome guests who are coming to my show on a regular basis. And not to miss the next show, please do make sure you go to YouTube and you subscribe to my show. And I can guarantee you will definitely enjoy it. Well, thank you so much, everybody who is joining me today in advance. I'll be looking forward to have great interaction with you. As always, it happens. And even more wonderful will be to hear from you. Where are you joining me from? So please do make sure you join me and you share your location. You share what your time it is. And also, if you want, you can share. Do you use your intuition in your life or your business? And I must say, intuition is something what can be quite contradictory, because sometimes people say, I knew it's going to happen, or I knew it's going to work out that way or this way. And yet not everybody knows how to use their intuition. So today I would like to challenge you on this topic, intuition. How can we use it? How can we develop that? And how can we strengthen that? So, are you ready to go on to the journey? In that case, let's go. Well, what first of all is intuition? Sometimes you can call it sixth sense. Sometimes you can call it inner gut feeling. Whichever way you call it, sometimes people don't want to call it anything because they simply don't believe in that. However, I must say, it is really, really useful to not only use it, but to listen to that on a daily basis. Many successful people use it. If they use it, why wouldn't you do that, right? Okay, wonderful. So I really wanted to hear if you use your intuition. So type in comments below if you do, because I would love to find out. And if you don't, let me know why you don't do that, right? Because I would love to hear why you use it or if you don't use it. I can see on LinkedIn that I have Cici Min joining me from Myanmar, which is amazing. And we also have Sharat from India. And we have many other people saying hello, but I cannot see all locations. So it's fine. But whenever you're joining, you can always share your location in the comments below. And also, please make sure you do tell me whether you use your intuition or not. So let me just tell you about a few tips. In fact, there'll be 7 steps how actually you can start using your intuition. But let's start with how to develop. Okay, so here are my 7 steps how actually you can use your intuition, how you can develop, how you can strengthen that. So how you can, in overall, make sure you use it. All right, let's start with feelings. Right? Now think to yourself, when was the last time when you were really paying attention, really close attention to how do you feel? Before you were just about to do something, before you were just about to make a decision, did you pay a close attention to how did that feel? Did it feel comfortable to make that decision? Did you feel that it was useful? Did you feel it's going to help you? Did you feel anything that was indicating that it was good, positive, or bad, negative? Right? So if you think about your past actions, I'm sure you're going to think about 1 or 2 occasions when you had some sort of a feeling. Okay? So next time when you have this feeling, please don't ignore it. Okay, because that feeling is your intuition speaking to you. All you have to do is just to pay attention to what exactly it says, right? Because in most cases, your intuition will always right. So the next step is important because it is about allowing your head to switch off. And this happens once you do something very creative. It can be drawing, it could be painting, it could be you playing with shells and making some art. It could be you using some sound and making something creative. Whatever floats your boat, you can choose, you can pick, you can come up for yourself what exactly you will enjoy. But make sure it is something creative, because what happens when you use your creativity, you switch off your logic. And this when your feelings come more onto the surface, right? So anything creative will definitely help you to sharpen, to develop your intuition. Just remember that. Do it on a regular basis. Simple as that. Okay, and the next thing which many people forget about, but intuition is something natural. Intuition is something that we all have. It comes within us. And that means we have to do something to be within nature, right? Because the more we are within nature in our natural state, this one actually we allow all the intuition and that inner sixth feeling, if you want, call it, or inner gut, whatever you choose to call it, to actually work better, to not only guide you, but also work with you, not against you, work with you. Because many decisions we're making on a daily basis, and unfortunately not all of them are coming from our heart. But the minute you will start spending more time on the nature, maybe going for the walk, maybe going for the run, maybe meditating. That's my favorite thing, to meditate on the nature, because then I feel so grounded and I feel very, very connected. And I must say, probably most of you know me as a very positive, very upbeat, very bubbly person. And probably you're questioning yourself right now, thinking, how can you meditate? Do you really ever sit down and meditate? Well, to your surprise, yes, I do. Yes, I do sit down and I do meditate. And actually, it is really uplifting experience when you can meditate. So I would urge you, please practice that as well, especially if you can, right there somewhere in the nature. And as I mentioned earlier already, the next step number 4, would be go back to your past. Go back to your past and analyze situations when you actually had a feeling, had a sensation, something was telling you that things will not work out, and they didn't, right? Listen to those situations. And of course, if you will start analyzing and you will pay attention to how did that feel, right? What exactly did you have in your head? You will be able to spot what exactly your intuition was telling you, right? And this is how you actually can tell whether it was intuition or not. And next time, when you have very similar sensations, you can actually start using that for yourself. All right, so let's make sure you do analyze your past. The past is in your life for the reason. It is for the reason for you to learn something from that, to extract some lessons and extract all those learnings. Okay, so far, please do let me know which one out of 4 tips are the most useful, or the one which you haven't done before, because I would love to hear and I would love to learn more about yourself. So please do let me know which one floats your boat and which one maybe you feel more comfortable with. I can see there's a comment from Sat on Facebook. He says, it is so important to listen to your gut feeling and follow your heart. When a voice deep down is screaming at you, it is often right. Your heart never betrays you. And that is so true. You see, the minute you will start listening to your intuition, your life will become almost like a game, almost like a play, where actually all you have to do, just ask a question and feel the answer. Ask the question and feel the answer. And that can be really exciting. But to get there, it takes time, right? If you ask children, what do they feel or what do they think? Very often they will say, I feel, right? Because it's natural. And then on later on in life, we learn how to think and we are taught how to think. But natural is actually to feel, right? So let's go back to our feeling. I can see more people join me, which is exciting. Please do say hello and please do share your location where you're based today, because I would love to see where actually are you located. It would be wonderful to know. So thank you so much in advance for all your wonderful comments. Yeah, I can see more people joining. Exciting. I love that. I love how international these sessions go. Sometimes I receive messages all the way from, like today, there was somebody from Malaysia, and sometimes people join me from Bora Bora. And it's quite exciting because I really would love to help as many as possible. So if you could spread the word and share the message and also share your location, I would love to hear where are you located. Vera on LinkedIn says, intuition is your basic strength, gives you a hint to go ahead or not to. If you follow it, 99.99% is always right. That is so true. Thank you so much for this valuable comment. Yes, exactly. It is right if you follow your intuition. All right. So let's make sure we do learn how to do it. So the step number 5 is to do something very repetitive. So whether it is dancing or something manual task, something to take away your brain from overthinking, right? So sometimes, for example, if I'm thinking about a project or if I'm not sure about something, I choose to go around the house and maybe move some stuff around, maybe to get my flowers and to rearrange them, maybe change the words in the flowers, or maybe I'll go and I maybe just reorganize my books on my bookshelf, right? But I'll do something manual, which will not require lots of my thinking, to allow that space for my thoughts, for my intuition to kick in. So something very repetitive actually can help you to strengthen and to develop your intuition. And that is the tip number 5. And the tip number 6 is actually to learn more about yourself. When you learn about your values, when you learn about your integrity, when you stick true to yourself, this is when your intuition helps you as well. This is when your intuition kicks in as well. But when you go against your values or when you go against your integrity, then unfortunately, this is when intuition will go to a sleep mode, if we can call it that way, right? But it's really important to actually make sure that you always listen to your values, you always listen to your integrity, because only then actually your intuition will really kick in. So next time when something is not working out the way you want, it's something against your values, against your integrity, then tell about this to whoever you're dealing with right this moment. Say that, no, I disagree, I don't really believe in this, or this is not up to my standards, or no, I don't believe in that. Whichever way suits you, really, it's entirely up to you, right? I can see Josie also joined me. How exciting. Hi Josie, all the way from Canada. How exciting. Thank you so much. It's great to have you here. And Sat says, I was actually going to do a live in my group based on this. You beat me to it. Going to follow up on it after. Well, Sat, what can I say? Sorry. But I guess that's because more and more people, especially during this time, are disconnected from themselves. And it's quite important to reconnect with yourself. How can you do it? Through intuition, right? And that's why, yes, I'm so glad you were just about to speak about this in your group. And feel free to still speak about this, because more and more people need to hear about that, right? So please make sure you do talk about this in your group. But yes, it's something what we all need to address and we'll need to learn. And the next tip, tip number 7, is to actually release resistance, okay? I know it sounds easier to say than to do. How do we release resistance? But what is resistance? Resistance is you not willing to trust. You're not willing to be guided. You're not willing to listen to the guidance which is coming from within yourself, within the source, if you want to call it. And it depends what your belief system is, what your religion is. It could be God, could be universe, could be Allah. But when you're resistant, this is when you don't want to receive any guidance from anything. And when you drop your resistance, this is when also your intuition will kick in, right? Because it's almost like, imagine the water flowing in the river, right? And if you don't allow it to flow, right, like really freely, then obviously it's not going to be able to do so. So in order for that to go freely, you have to remove all the barriers on the way of that water in that river. And that'll be a very natural, smooth flow. Otherwise, what happens with the waterfalls, if they're built up of rocks, if there's built up of trees, unfortunately, it becomes really aggressive. And now we have a power of that water, right? The same happens with intuition. If you block it, unfortunately, it can't get through, right? And then sometimes you will feel within your body, it could be pain, it could be you getting ill, it could be you not feeling well. And this is actually how sometimes you not listening to intuition can show up in your body. Something will go wrong in your body. Something will go wrong with your feeling, with the way how you feel, simply because you were not listening to your intuition, right? So let's remove all the resistance, right? And you can do it with breathing exercises. You can do it as you go for a walk and you listen. Just you are in a now. You are in the presence of now. Okay, so let me see. Oh, Josh joined me all the way from sunny Chesterfield. How amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for joining me. And actually, we have somebody today from Himalayas on LinkedIn. Hi, Shubham. How are you? So glad to see you here all the way from Himalayas. And I love this comment from you. Thank you so much. What are your views on rationalizing intuition with logic? Like, say, if there is something you want to do, would you rather say start small or come prepared? Okay, and what would you feel about this? Okay, let's remember, logic is what we think, and feeling is what we feel from our heart. It comes from within ourselves, right? So here, if you want my personal opinion, I'll always say start small, okay? But if you would tell me more about the project, then I'll be able to feel it. At the minute, I can't. But my belief always is start small, all right? It could be just one step towards something. It could be a research. It could be preparation of material. It could be something else. But to come fully prepared, I mean, can you ever prepare 100%? So think about it. Can any mother prepare 100% to be a mother? When she's going to the hospital to give birth, do you think she's ready? No, there's no parent ready ever. We all come unprepared, right? So if we would wait for the course on parenting to finish that course, to receive the certificate on parenting, to receive the upgrade on parenting, unfortunately, we would never exist. Okay, so what happens to adults are taking small steps, they conceive a child and they take it from there, right? And the same I believe we should do in our lives. Let's start small. Let's start with a small step and then you'll progress. Okay, so I know all of this sounds very easy to do. However, how easy is it really to do? That's the good question, right? And I must say, one of the best things which actually helped me to build my intuition was meditation. And this, I would say, will be the tip number 8 or a bonus tip, right? I'm not sure if you meditate or not, and I would love to hear if you actually meditate. So please do make sure you comment below and let me know if you meditate or not, because I think it's something remarkable. And again, some of you probably right now are thinking, Olga, I can't even imagine you meditating. You are so bouncy all the time. You're so happy all the time. Well, but I am, because I'm really connected with myself. And this connection with myself comes from meditative state, right? That state when actually I calm down all my emotions, I calm down all my energies, and I recalibrate myself, right? So meditation can be really powerful. But let me read the comment from Josie here on Facebook. By the way, we are going now across 3 platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you might not see some comments on one platform or another. But if you go to YouTube, you will definitely be able to receive notifications and more information about my next shows. Josie says, you are so right that we have to connect with our intuition. Fear can sometimes counter intuition. This is so true, darling. Yes, fear is something what unfortunately blocks us. Remember I was speaking about resistance? So we are having fear on a daily basis, right? And being resistant doesn't help that, okay? It's almost like strengthens our fears. So why it's important to drop the resistance and overcome your fear and actually challenge yourself, because only then you're going to strengthen your intuition. And as I mentioned earlier, it is really important to meditate for you to connect with your intuition, right? This is something that would help me massively. But now I wonder if you meditate. The reason why I would like to find out, because I know how many people actually sometimes struggle to meditate effectively, right? Some people say, I never meditated before. I can't even imagine sitting still in a quiet spot in the darkness. What is it? And some people, just like Josie right now, she says, yes, I do meditate and find it helpful. You see, their opinions will be very different and people find very different experiences. But what I know majority of people experience is a trouble with meditation, because many people find it quite challenging to calm your thoughts. They find it quite challenging to just keep your mind still without any thoughts. But actually what's important to remember, meditation is about having Zen in your mind, having an absolute emptiness in your mind. And therefore, the minute you will learn how to use your thoughts, it will be a game changer in your life. So I found out, and this is a technique which I developed, that through meditations, you can receive messages. And these messages can be very, very powerful. And there are 3 ways how you can receive these messages. As you probably, if you were meditating before, you'll remember that sometimes you go into meditation state and your mind is clear for like a minute or 2. And then what happens? You have a pop-up thought about like, oh, did you switch off the iron? Or need to make a call to plumber? Or need to call my mom, right? And you're like, oh, okay, I'm meditating. Let's go back. And you calm yourself down. You remember you're meditating and you close your eyes and again meditate. And then something like another pop-up comes up and you think, oh, I should have sent that email. Yeah, what I can do? I can create X, Y, Z. Or would be wonderful to move furniture in my house this way or that way. And you have some nonsense ideas coming to you and you think, well, I can't even meditate because all these thoughts keep coming to me. And then next thing, when you meditate, all of a sudden, you have this another pop-up and situation from your past. Something what you did not think about before, something what was not in your mind before, but as you start meditating, it just pops in and you think, excuse me, what are you doing here? Hello, dear thought, I'm trying to meditate. Why are you here? And what's really interesting, people get frustrated. People get frustrated and they think that they cannot meditate effectively. But saying that you receive these thoughts that isn't effective, it's not fair, because your subconscious talks to you all the time. And that's why I developed a series of classes which are called meditation messaging. This is when actually we sit down with this very, very limited group of people usually, because obviously I translate messages as well. But what happens, we sit down and we meditate together, and I take people through guided meditation. And during this guided meditation, people not only receive messages on their questions. So you have a question and you can ask this question, but then we release this question and we proceed with guided meditation, and then you receive your answer during this meditation. And it is quite a remarkable experience, because so many people, they receive it in the form of literally a word. Sometimes it could be a phrase. Sometimes it could be just a vision, like a picture. Sometimes it could be a color. And that's why it's quite important to receive almost like translation of that, because in the beginning you don't know where to start. Of course, eventually people learn, and usually people take a couple of classes and then they learn how to do it themselves. But it is really, really powerful, because whatever question you have, you can receive the answer during the meditation. And this is exactly what I teach at my meditation messaging classes, which are really, really powerful. So what I'll do, I'll share the link for those who are interested to join these meditation classes. They're very limited. I usually take up to 10 people only, simply because it is extremely, extremely valuable, but also because I want to be able to translate the messages, right? And if I have, let's say, 100 people, unfortunately, I won't be able to give that, undivided attention. I won't be able to help literally everybody. That's why they're quite limited. But actually, they're still very, very powerful. So what I will do, I will definitely make sure I will share the link below this video for those who are interested to join these amazing classes. So far, feedback was really important to me, because people said that they were not only receiving answers, but they also felt very rejuvenated. They felt refreshed. They felt like the weight of the shoulders is dropped. And I think it's quite powerful. But anyways, I would love to hear your feedback and your experience with your meditation. Please do let me know. How do you feel when you meditate? Have you ever been receiving messages through meditations? Have you ever been receiving any sort of visions through meditations, any sensations. And the reason why I also wanted to share meditation as bonus tip in addition to how to improve and develop your intuition, because during the meditation, this is when actually you tap into that nature state of yours, that calmness of yours. This is when you also do breathing exercise. Remember earlier I mentioned, do something repetitive, which is breathing exercise. This one actually you can also relax. This one actually also release all the resistance, because resistance lives in our body. And the minute you're taking through guided meditation, you release all those barriers. You release everything what was built up, right? So please make sure you do work on these 7 tips on how to develop and strengthen your intuition. And the bonus tip, which is meditation, is really, really valuable. So whoever is interested, you're so welcome to follow the link below and the video, which I will share in a minute with you, and join my class, because so far, as I said, people shared that it was so, so valuable, and I would love to help you with that as well. Or you can just do it yourself. But as I said, people very often struggle with the thoughts processes and being disturbed by what happens in their mind instead of meditating. But actually, you can use those messages which are coming into your mind very wisely. That's exactly what we do at this meditation messaging classes. We actually use those thoughts, we classify them, we analyze them, and we put them in one department or another, and I teach how to use them in the future. So that can be very, very powerful, because imagine all you have to do is just ask yourself a question, go through meditation, and receive the answer. That'll be so spectacular. Well, those who joined me today, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for being with me today. That's it for today. I just wanted to share with people the importance of intuition, the importance of strengthening and also discovering your intuition, because that can really, really transform your life, right? I recognize that in my life, since the time I started meditating, it transformed completely, because I started listening more to myself. I started trusting more myself. I dropped the resistance. And so interesting, as I said earlier in the beginning of this session, it almost becomes like a game. It becomes like exciting play in your life, where all you have to do is just to ask a question and then you actually receive your answer. So I hope you will use these tips. I will make sure I will also type them below the video, all the 7 tips, including the bonus one for you as well. And then I will wish you a wonderful day. Whatever you do, please make sure you use these tips and you also meditate. And if you would like to join my 7-day meditation challenge, do let me know. I'm more than happy to put you into this challenge, and I can guarantee you will definitely enjoy that. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I can see there's a comment from Shubham on LinkedIn saying, amazing. Thank you so much for all the confidence. Sending some greens for you from the mountains. Cheers. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That's very, very nice of you. Jamal says, hello from Algeria. Thank you for what you're always doing for inspiring people. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's very important to me to know that actually this is helpful. And Jamal says, being surrounded by amazing and positive persona could be solution for strengthening our intuition, Olga. I would say yes and no. Unfortunately, it's not something like if people are intuitive, you're gonna get contagious and you will catch that, because it comes from you, it doesn't come from others. But the truth is, the more you are in touch with people who are very intuitive, the more you will start learning to what they do. And by learning and copying their behaviors and their actions, the more you will start applying them in your life, and the more you'll be able to learn it yourself and you'll be able to apply it yourself. So I would say yes and no. But intuition is not contagious. You can't really copy paste it from somebody, but you can definitely learn what other people are doing in order to actually practice that and have it. Simple as that. So anyways, guys, I'll wish you a wonderful, wonderful day, whatever you do. Stay in tune with yourself. Remember to listen to your intuition, because your intuition is your best friend. Don't let it down. Listen to that. Be thankful to that. And as Joseph says, thank you on Facebook. I will thank you all for being here with me today. I really appreciate you. And I will look forward to see those who can join me on LinkedIn tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. So see you there, and also at my meditation messaging class. You take care. Love you lots. Mwah.